And finally, new rule, now that he's suing me for $5 million because he says he's proved that he is not the love child of an orangutan.
Hi friends, this is Kalpun Piso. My brain is creating thoughts. Be cut. Bill Maher is amazing. In his real-time show of February 8, 2013, yesterday, it was amazing. I never laughed so hard in my life. And I'm going to discuss what he said when he's talking about the lawsuit of ChristPsychosis infected men with mental problems, Donald Trump.
Donald Trump must learn two things: what a joke is and what a contract is. Now, let me catch you up on how all this got started. During the last week of the presidential campaign last year, Donald Trump, who previously had been a one-issue candidate obsessed with Obama's birth certificate, announced that he would give $5 million to charity if Obama produced his college records. Because a black guy getting into college...
Well, see here, this is interesting because we must realize that Donald Trump brought up in a Christianity-infected home. He's a ChristPsychotic. In truth, and of course Christians are basically racist. Isn't there religion? It's the psychosis. It's all there. You know, Christianity 1500 years ago is the cause of immorality, pedophilia, intolerance, believe in this resurrected something that says with blood, magic, angels, demons, and the rest of crap. That is exactly what defines mental disorders like schizophrenia. Stop us about it. You know, we create thoughts with the brain. We are actually product of a fuck. All of us. And that this reality escapes a lot of people.
That the only other thing in nature with the same color hair as Trump's is the orange-haired orangutan.
See, this is interesting because orangutans, they're primates like we are. And that is a scientific fact. Evolution proves it. Especially, it's all in our genes, DNA. We are related to all living forms on the planet, including bacteria in the excreta of everything. In other words, we are full of shit too, bacteria and everything else. But that's the truth. And there's only like one genes of difference between the chimpanzees and us, our closest primate relatives. Like bonobos, the same thing. So, you know, actually, Donald Trump is a ChristPsychosis infected imbecile, a very ignorant man, ignorant of science, thanks to his ChristPsychosis, and he gave Bill Maher this tremendous gift that is going to be used. Because this guy, despite all his money, is an ignorant buffoon. He should actually be thankful that he's comparing this to an orangutan, because there's nothing wrong with orangutans. They're beautiful animals. Our also relatives in the primate world.
papers to prove he wasn't hiding a bad secret about his birth. This is known as parody, and it's a form of something we in the comedy business call a joke.
Well, see, do you remember that this Christ-psychosis infected imbeciles along the GOP, better known as the God-obsessed party, the bunch of crazy, theotarded, ignorant imbeciles stuck in the Middle Ages that believe a zombie resurrected and saved with blood. These people in Senate, in Congress. And of course they're racist. They don't like Obama because he's black and the guy is brilliant. I mean, Obama has a summa cum laude. You cannot get summa cum laude just by buying them. You have to earn them. Scholarships, you know, the man is, Obama is brilliant, but he's half black and half white. And the ChristPsychotic infected imbeciles hate him and say no to everything he proposes because he's more intelligent than a lot of them, of these white pieces of shit, ChristPsychotic imbeciles. And of course, Trump is one of them. He cannot, you know, to him, he's so deluded. He believes in all these conspiracy theories and all that, and of course he believes that that Obama is born in Kenya and all the rest. I mean, no matter. See, this is the problem with the Christianity-infected people. People that believe in zombie gods and alien and abductions and all that stuff. People like that, it's like schizophrenics. You cannot convince them of reality. They don't understand reality. See, and this is the problem with people infected with this zombie god belief. People of faith are people of schizophrenia. You know, they have thrown reason out the window. They cannot, due to their brain disorder, defect. You cannot discuss reality with them. So anything but reality. To them, 2 + 2 equals any number they believe it is, except for 4. Keep that in mind.
Also aped, if you will, Trump's offer of money to a charity of his choosing, which so much they could barely get him to stop flinging his feces.
And this is true because, hey, monkeys do that. Apes, primates, we do that. They swing feces. And we also do that, but with symbols. We go like this, we go like that. In Europe, this means like I'm throwing the shit at you. That comes from our nature, our primate nature. That's all evolution. And that's a fact, and this moron doesn't understand that. See? And this man is another man, brilliant too.
Now, public figures, of course, don't always like everything that's said about them, but that's how we roll here in America.
Exactly. And, hey, if it quacks like a duck, swims like a duck, flies like a duck, it is not a platypus. But to ChristPsychotics, it is. So if a person believes in a zombie god that resurrects and saves with blood, to save humanity for a sin committed by a madman and a ribbed woman when they accepted a fruit offered from a talking snake in a garden, you know, these people have a problem with the brain. If you act like a nut, think like a nut, you're a nut. We must realize that a defective brain can only produce irrational, bizarre thoughts. All the schizophrenics do, and also people of faith do. Because we are in the 21st century, we're not in the 12th century. This is what we mentally healthy, in other words, atheists, must constantly remind people of faith that they are Christ-psychosis infected imbeciles.
up like everybody else. But no.
Of course he doesn't. He doesn't understand reality. So that's what Bill Maher should say to the Don, that he has a problem. He's no different than a schizophrenic. And that's the truth. That will really hurt him even more. He will go, Donald Trump will go bananas if Bill Maher will actually tell him the truth, that he is a schizophrenic, he is from a mental disorder. And like a schizophrenic, like a retarded person. This will really make him go ape shit. Pissed. Oh, he will be furious. Because one thing that people don't like is when you tell them the truth. And that makes people really mad. Our primate nature, bloodthirsty nature, reveals itself. And that's the fact.
Trump, his lawyer sent me a letter. I shit you not, this is real. His lawyer sent me a letter that says, and I quote, "Attached hereto is a copy of Mr. Trump's birth certificate demonstrating that he is the son of Fred Trump and not an orangutan."
Would you believe that? Would you believe that? This reveals how crazy and ChristPsychotic infected this man is. And nobody exposes for what he is. I mean, he actually is so mad, and he reveals his disorder by sending Bill Maher this letter. Not just his ignorance and his stupidity, but also his psychosis, his schizophrenia, his paranoia schizophrenia. And you know, people suffer from depression, temporal lobe epilepsy, from all that. And Donald Trump is a sick man. Like many of these people that believe in God and the pastors in churches, these are all crazy people. They're schizophrenic. They're mentally dysfunctional, and nobody seems to see it. And the worst part is that atheists, in other words, mentally healthy, like Bill Maher, don't see it either. Dawkins don't see it. Harris don't see it. P.C. Myers don't see it. Even Dr. Krause, the brilliant guest in the show, doesn't see it. He laughs at them. He said, "Hey, we have to laugh at these idiots. These nuts." Yeah, it's true to laugh at them, but also expose their mental illness. And they don't see that.
These morons even know it's impossible for people and apes to produce offspring?
No, they don't. Because I believe that we are all created by some bejesus. Created every day. See, it is just mind-boggling that this Christ-psychosis infected imbeciles, anti-science morons, don't look at their creation. The males, the Christian males, you look at between their legs, and they will see there is a penis in there that hangs in there. It's a God. It creates. It blesses people with orgasm, giving you these fantastic feelings. So come on, where they came from? We all come from of coitus, from our parents, from our dads shooting sperm DNA into our mother's cave of creation. And then 9 months later, thanks to DNA mutations, proving evolution, we emerge with a blank brain. Blank. Believing nothing. We didn't speak English, saying, "Oh, Jesus, here we are." None. So this is the problem. This is the problem with Christ-psychosis. It makes people retarded. You know, stuck in the Middle Ages.
And look at the lawyer's signature. It just kind of trails off, as if to say, "I'm too embarrassed to even finish this."
It's the truth.
Scott, on late-night talk shows are now legally binding agreements between the comedian and the person they're making fun of. Yes, I'm sure this will go all the way to the Supreme Court.
Yes, the Supreme Court. And you know, it's interesting. The Supreme Court of the United States because the United States is a Christianity-infected nation. It's ChristPsychotic. And the Supreme Court is composed of 6 members that are Christians. They're Catholics. They're Christ psychosis infected imbeciles in charge of the laws of the country. The other 3 are Jewish. And the Jews are practically atheist, mentally healthy. Their religious psychosis is simply a tradition. They don't believe it. They go through all these things, but they don't believe in all that crap. They are down in reality, the Jews. So 3 members are Jewish. The other 6 are Christ psychosis infected imbeciles. But we have to remember that some of the God-obsessed party, they are GOP, and those are really severely infected with Christ psychosis.
The legal system in this country, it's not a joke. It's not a toy for rich idiots to play with.
But the legal system in this country is all Christian. It's based on Christian principles. Let's don't forget the Mayflower Compact based in the Bible, in the Geneva Bible, you know, in the 1620s. So America is a Christ psychosis infected country. It's a Christianity infected country. There's churches everywhere. And these Christ psychosis infected imbeciles that belong in mental institutions are tax exempt. And they pray, they open the Senate and all that with the chaplain saying prayers to zombie Jesus, to God. They swear to tell the truth over a book of mythologies, a compendium of lies and falsehoods called the Bible. Can you imagine that? You have to swear to tell the truth instead of, let's say, in a science book or the Constitution or something real. You swear to tell the truth or a book of lies. How much Christianity infected United States do you want? This is the proof. And people don't see it. It's ridiculous.
Questions like, well, here's what you put out. It's the short form certification of live birth, not a birth certificate. It was clearly made on a dot matrix computer printer and it includes a scannable barcode. 2 technologies that were hardly around in 1946.
Amazing.
Where's the original long form certificate? Because a short form copy... Yeah.
Exactly.
A short form copy of a birth certificate unsigned by an attending physician isn't proof of anything. You know who I learned that from? I learned that from Donald, but I'm white, Trump.
Now, you know, this man here, Dr. Krauss, is a brilliant, brilliant scientist, astrophysicist. He wrote a book called The Universe from Nothing. And he's creating all that brilliant thoughts and ideas with his brain. He also was product of coitus, and he is also an evolved mutated primate like all of us are. The difference is that he knows what he is. I know what I am. And we are mentally healthy. In other words, atheist. And that's important to tell everybody. Man is absolutely brilliant.
It's a real problem. I mean,
Even the science teachers?
Yeah, these are teachers teaching science, and they're uncomfortable with it. I remember my daughter when she was in grade 2. I went into the class, and the teacher, you know, what do you learn? It's light during the day and dark at night. The teacher was uncomfortable with that. And at the upper levels, we're still the best in the world. We're still bringing the best students in the world here. And I think I've actually said something which was a little controversial, but I think at some point we have to let the free market work and say, and I don't think science is more important than English. But at the same time, if you want to get science teachers, people with science training on the whole can get paid more outside the teaching profession, and you might have to pay them more to actually bring them into the teaching profession. That's
cuts in. Something like 150,000 teachers will be laid off anyway. That's the predicament we're in. That's why central government discussions about these issues are so critical, because as Professor Krauss says, our children are not being educated to the extent that they should be, and we continue to lay off teachers.
Okay. Again, and the reason is the United States of America is a Christianity-infected country. Believes the Bible is true, and that's what they teach children.
This is not a libel case. No, they seem to be trying to set a bold new precedent that jokes on late-night talk shows are now legally binding agreements they're making fun of. Yes, I'm sure this will go all the way to the Supreme Court.
And like it or not, we are evolved mutated primates. It is in our DNA. It's in our DNA. Nobody can deny this fact, friends. Like they say, facts of science talk, religious psychosis walks. It's in our DNA. We create the bizarre mythological beliefs of gods with our brains. This is proven in a neurology lab. It is a fact. If you believe in God, you have a problem with your brain. You're no different than a schizophrenic. Let's deal with the facts. That's what ChristPsychotic infected imbecile Donald Trump doesn't understand, as well as the God-obsessed party, the GOP. What are the scientific facts that ChristPsychotic infected imbeciles don't understand? We are evolved mutated primates that create gods with our brains when they malfunction. Here you have all our ancestors. And the proof is in the fossils. We have the skulls. We have the evidence. A word that ChristPsychotic infected imbeciles don't have in their vocabulary. Evidence. Facts of science talk. The bullshit of religious psychosis walks. Let's expose ChristPsychosis, the mental disorder nobody sees. It's a schizophrenia-like disorder. No one sees it. Christianity is a mental disorder, it's a mental illness. When the brain believes in gods, you suffer from a disease because thoughts are created in the brain. The brain creates God. Let's keep that in mind. If you believe in God, you are a theotard. You have a problem with the brain, no different than schizophrenia. Because religion is organized as schizophrenia. Pace Diyorum.